of their inventory is actually new equipment, and it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The problem when they plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Them fix you a plate.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
The best way to learn about South Community College is to visit. SCC's Career Days will provide you with a hands-on experience as you learn alongside SCC faculty and students and industry partners. Explore careers in healthcare, construction, ag, automotive, manufacturing, engineering, power sports, transportation, or technology. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Gather round. This is the Ticket Water Cooler.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. Now you can win the game.
Coming at you live in the heart of Lincoln, America.
I think, hold up, wait a minute. That ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Buckelvin and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler. Hey, thanks for joining us. Because we had Adam Carricker and Jeff Thune doing the Big Ten show, then we just have a short water cooler, but that is okay because it is a news-filled water cooler as Nebraska did release their depth chart. We've heard from Matt. We'll go over that in a second. For one, I did want to give a shout out to the Philippines. It's why I'm wearing my Philippines jersey here, as FIBA basketball tournament has started there, and they set the record today for fans in attendance for a single game in a FIBA tournament, with 38,115 fans watching. The Philippines, unfortunately, lose the Dominican Republic. Philippines led by Jordan Clarkson, whose jersey I have on now with 28 points. But it's not too bad of a loss. Karl Anthony Towns is on Dominican Republic, you have to remember. So
I forget that he's playing for the Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
so
easy to forget.
Yeah, whatever happens.
I love watching.
It's kind of like Paolo Banchero decommitting from Italy. It was Italy, right?
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I feel bad for getting that wrong. I feel like it was him like deciding, you know what, I'm not going to play for this team. I'm going to play for Team USA.
Yes.
And the president or the head coach of the team was pissed.
Not happy about
which is understandable.
Yeah. If you can get an NBA guy on your international team, it's a pretty big deal.
It makes a difference.
It does. So not too much on that. I just thought it was kind of cool and something to shout out there. But today we did have the depth chart released. Got plenty of news. Still no news on Eric Gilbert as far as the waiver. Just the news that there is no news.
Yeah, I figured we wouldn't get any news on that one. It's fine.
Yeah, that one seems to be going into the season. And at this point, it was kind of one of those things where it's like the later it gets, the less good you feel about it.
Yep.
And I think it's probably still that way, I suppose.
We're just not going to feel great about this.
Other update on Marquise Buford, I think, is interesting. He's probably not going to be ready till about week 5 or 6, if by then. And then they're going to have a decision to make, difference between being healthy and football ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he might be kind of one of those guys that plays the last 4 games of the year in red shirts.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully you get some contribution out of him because he was coming on last year, starter, of course, in that secondary. Some other things I think that maybe were worth noting: black shirts to be handed out on Sunday, so we'll look forward to that.
You think they'll do a whole thing, or will it just be?
Oh, they'll do a whole thing.
Well, based on how this off season has gone with the videos and the look and they'll probably do a whole thing.
And they should, because I mean that's a tradition that's important. This is rules first. You got to show, pay homage to the past, and I think they'll do that a little bit. Alex Bullock getting a scholarship. We'll talk on him here in a second. This will be on the field. All that good stuff.
All kinds of the presser. We'll get to a lot of that later on. Maybe all the shows we'll get to it at some point.
That's right. We've got some Husker news, and we're going to hit on it, so don't worry about it.
It took a while. Look, I mean this in the nicest way possible. Matt Rule loves the sound of his voice. That man, you ask him one question, and it takes him like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And a part of me is like, I still don't know if you answer the question or not.
He is the son of a preacher, after all, so he inherited that.
That's good,
which is good.
He's a good talker.
Yeah, and a good leader, and hopefully we'll kind of see as he leads his way. So, a reminder too: this is the first depth chart. This is it can change, and that was particularly interesting to me about this one too. Is they're integrating guys that were kind of injured into it. They're not forcing them to go, to be a starter right away. And so that's kind of what you'll see a lot throughout this depth chart. Left tackle, you start with Turner Corcoran. We'll go through the offensive line. Interesting there because listed second behind him is Gunnar Gachula, the freshman. Gatula, sorry. Gachula. I like that one better. Gatula. And then Teddy Prohaska, who's coming off injury, is third at left tackle. So again, probably tells you how he's coming along back off of injury. That's kind of what they're for this game week in particular. Maybe that'll change.
He did come back to practice this last week. At least that's what they said. But it's one of those things where it's a pretty serious knee injury, and you don't want to rush. What did he say? Not this press conference, but the one before. He'd rather bring him back a day late than a day early. So it makes sense to have him third. I mean, having him on the depth chart at all, but have him third just because he's available, but you don't particularly want to use him quite yet until he's truly 110% ready.
He does stand out on the depth chart in that he is 6'10", and I don't know the next tallest here.
I feel like they're putting that down a little bit. The dude is massive.
He's very big. Bryce Mittenhart 6'9", but other than that, I don't know if they've got anybody over 6'6" maybe listed out here. Either way, not a basketball team, but interesting. Also interesting.
Got a center, power forward. He's pretty good. Dude.
Yeah. They got to start to. They got a front court.
You could do pretty well with this offensive line.
So as we mentioned, Gatula there as the backup. Interesting too, because as you move to left guard, no surprise, Ethan Piper, who was went to Big Ten Media Day, has been honored as far as would have gotten a single-digit jersey. So you kind of expected him to be a starter. His backup is Sam Sledge, another freshman. So 2 true freshmen as backup.
Interesting.
Yeah, good. So interesting start there. Go ahead.
You don't want to question the depth chart, but is that really the backup, or is it going to be if he gets hurt, you've got, and I know you're not going to put somebody's name on there twice, but is it one of those things where, you're playing Madden, you're playing NCAA football where your left guard's backup is actually your starting right guard and your right guard's backup is going to move up to right guard, and that it's just going to be one of those things? Or are they truly this is going to be the guy? And that's something that you're not going to see on a depth chart, but to have a true freshman, if God forbid something does happen to the starters on the offensive line, are you truly going to have a true freshman slide up into there? I mean, the offensive and defensive line, as I've said before, and I'm not the only one ever, but a lot of people have said this, the trenches are the hardest place for a true freshman to step into and compete right away.
Yeah. You're going up against 3 or 4 years of weight training at the college Big Ten level. Just fresh out of high school, that could be tough. I'm glad you mentioned that though, because I do think Henry Latovsky is probably the top backup guard one way or the other.
Yeah.
But it is kind of cool to see Sledge out there, and we'll see. And you're just kind of looking for redshirt stuff. Are they going to burn it? Will they play him?
Mhm.
All that sort of stuff's kind of interesting. At center, no surprise there. Ben Scott starting. Justin Evans Jenkins as the backup. That's no surprise. Right guard, Nuri Noeli. Of course, a welcome addition back for this team.
I'm pretty sure that's not how you spell his first name, but it's fine.
No, they misspelled it on the depth chart?
I'm pretty sure. Am I wrong?
Maybe he's changed it.
I'm gonna see if Nick. We'll see if he can hear me. Can you not hear me? He can't hear me. It's fine.
No, that's fine.
I'm pretty sure that's not how you spell it.
At right tackle, Bryce Benhart, we mentioned before, Tyler Knack as the top backup. So even among the redshirt freshman group, Tyler Knack, the top backup at right tackle, and Justin Evans Jenkins, the top backup at center. They've got some young guys coming up, so that'll be interesting to follow. Any concern there? I mean, I think a lot of people, obviously, this is going to be a little bit more of a run game, but I mean, just the tackles.
Yeah, when you look at it, you're looking at the same tackles that played last season, and I don't think it's wrong for you to be a little worried. I don't think it's wrong for anybody to be a little worried because the offensive line wasn't great last year. Sure, you have 3 new starters on the interior as opposed to who started last season.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 3 new starters right on the inside, but your bookends are the same guys who struggled mightily last season. Now, maybe the blocking scheme changed, although you kept the same, offensive line coach, but maybe the blocking scheme changed and it's simpler or simplified for them. Maybe they just got better over the offseason. You don't know until this first game is played. But if you are a little hesitant when you looked at the depth chart and saw that Turner Corcoran and Bryce Benhart were starting at tackle, I mean, I don't blame you. But let's wait till the first game before we just start throwing, mean words out onto the internet.
Yes,
because I know many people will do that.
Remember the name Walter Rouse for 3 days. We thought that was maybe going to be a test.
Don't remember the name Walter Rouse. We don't need that. You don't need that evil.
Tight end, you have an
What was the other one? What was the Baylor guy? The guard?
Oh yeah, I mean he didn't commit for a while, but he was on the.
He was like right there.
Yeah,
no, he never committed, but it was like right there, and it was like, well, you're gonna get Walter and this guy, and it's gonna be great. And then you didn't get either one of them.
But who knows? I mean, I can't remember. I can't remember the order of it, but maybe Ben Scott wouldn't have came or something. I don't know. Tight end, Nate Borkacher or Thomas Fedoni.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Nate's got the most experience. Thomas is coming off of 2 major knee injuries and hasn't been able to play. So that probably, if he's able to stay healthy and performs at the level that he believes he can, and we hope he can, that'll probably switch, and there won't be an or, and Fedoni will be the starter. But I really like Nate Borkacher at tight end. Again, the most experienced tight end in terms of playing for Nebraska coming back is a former walk-on, now on scholarship from Aurora, Nate Borkacher.
Yeah, and played really well for a freshman last year. So I mean, I know he's not as highly recruited, but I wouldn't just assume that he's going to give up that spot. But they are battling out for it, so we'll kind of see there. Slot starter Billy Kemp, backup Joshua Fleeks. The surprise might be at the other wide receiver position. Not one of them. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda starting at 1 with his backup Ty Hahn. But the other one is Alex Bullock starting. He's also getting a scholarship with Marcus Washington as his backup.
Well, if you hear the coaches talk about him, you hear some of the players and former players talk about him. What they say, he's a technician. He runs routes the best out of all of the wide receivers. He's doing amazing things in practices, one-handed catches, contorting his body to get catches. So based off of what he's doing in practice, I guess it wouldn't be much of a surprise. But if you look at the wide receiver room and look at some of the names, maybe it comes as a little bit of a surprise, and it might change when Marcus Washington is healthy. And also, you have 6 freshmen in the room, so somebody's got to start that has a little bit more age. Granted, it's a year up on everybody, Alex Bullock, but they have all the confidence in the world based on what he's been showing them in practice. The perfection of routes and his amazing hands.
Yeah, and I do think that was maybe the surprise on the depth chart, but I also think that's like, take note. It's not, and I know Marcus Washington, as you mentioned, coming off of injury, maybe that's all this is. But in my mind, this isn't like good old try type of, give him something for helping out the team. Like, I think he's going to be a contributor, maybe one of your top wide receivers here this year. And likely, I think he's very much in the mix. So we'll kind of see how that plays out.
They're not just going to hand him a scholarship and then say, hey, you're a starter in the first game. Good job trying.
We like the Bullock family. So, I mean, both Alex Bullock and his brother
John
over there
Bullock.
at linebacker, John Bullock, getting scholarships. So that's a pretty big deal.
Parents saving so much money now.
Yes. That is a big deal for them. Quarterback Jeff Sims, of course, Harburg and Purdy with the or. No surprise there. That's been explained in past last week by Matt Rule. Going to be circumstantial based on what they kind of need in that game. Who's going to go in if Jeff Sims has to go down or isn't playing well. Running back, another one of the big surprise. Well, let's do fullback real quick because that's not too hard to get through. An or for Janarian Bonner and Barrett Liebentreit. I think that's also probably situational. What do you need?
Yeah, it's definitely situational.
Two very different type of
Janarian for pass catching and runs to the outside maybe, and Liebentreit when you're trying to go through the tackles.
Yeah,
I feel like that might be it.
Running back, here's the surprise. Gabe Irvin starting. No surprise. That was already talked about. Ramir Johnson, number 2. Anthony Grant, number 3.
No ors.
Emmett Johnson, number 4, by the way, and he'll start at kick returner. But, no ors. We heard the explanation last week that Gabe Irvin's going to start Ramir Johnson, your third down back. But I did not necessarily expect Ramir to be listed at number 2 with no ors. So not only is he your third down back, he's your second running back.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a big surprise there. But when they talked about Ramir being the third down back and being able to do everything that way, and they kept talking about Anthony Grant's fumble issues, I still didn't think that this was going to happen. I thought there might have been an or, but to see it the way that it is now with Ramir at 2 and Anthony Grant at 3 is a big surprise, considering, again, that Anthony Grant was your starter, almost went for 1,000 yards. But then you think back 2 years ago, Gabe was your starter. Ramir came out of nowhere after the Oklahoma game and gave you some solid starter type statistics. So he's stayed around. He's worked his butt off, and now he's getting rewarded with the backup spot.
Gabe's impressed 3 different running back coaches now to the point where they elevate him to starting. He just can't stay healthy. So hopefully that changes. We better take a break here as we are up against it, but we will invite Nick in. We'll do the crossover. We'll look at the defensive side of the depth chart coming up next year on the Ticket Water Cooler on a Friday at 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I had a bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for only $24.99 a month. Enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel spectacular. Only $24.99 a month. Our most popular Black Card is your ticket to getting all the perks. Join today. See Club for details.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415, or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem with when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Acres, your John Deere dealers, offering hot financing on all new compact tractors. For a limited time, get 0% interest for 84 months when you buy any new John Deere compactor. And with a variety of attachments, you'll make quick work of chores around your acreage. From mowing to grading and moving large loads, Acres has a John Deere tractor to handle your toughest projects. Don't delay. Visit your Acres store to take advantage of this great offer. Acres, solutions for every field. Offer expires September 30th, 2023, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler. We're running a little bit late, so we'll try to have a quick spot here because we need to make way for the happy hour. Another excellent program lined up for you here on the Ticket, but we did want to get to the defensive depth chart. If you haven't heard it, you can chime in and give us your thoughts too. Honda of Lincoln hotline 402-464-5685. Starter Hammond text line, same number 402-464-5685. Also, Nick jumping in. Nick Sander, of course, of Happy Hour jumping in.
What's up?
Maybe you can give us a little bit of a preview of Happy Hour. We're going pretty quick because we're taking over your time already.
That's all right. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We got Husker football depth chart, obviously, a little bit of high school football news as we go into full steam ahead week 1 of high school football tonight. And then Husker volleyball starts their season this evening as well at 6 p.m. And then also at 1:30, we'll be joined by Zach Carpenter of Inside Nebraska, the rival site for the Huskers. And then weekend picks return.
They're back.
Just to remind
week 0.
you guys, week 0 picks are back. Just to remind you guys of the week of the 2022 record.
Do we have to? Because I did terrible.
You did do bad.
I did.
You have a chance.
So bad.
You have a chance to redeem yourself this year. You were 59-68, Rico. Okay.
Like the Yankees.
Yes. I was 83-43.
Whoa.
Like the Rangers.
Like the Rangers or
the O's.
Cubs.
That wasn't like a slight difference.
No.
The Cubs are 67-60, by the way. But
You're
anyway,
like the O's.
I am like the Orioles. But no. Anyway, so weekend picks return. We'll have our super pick. We'll have our over-under pick as well. There'll be plenty of opportunities. Austin is going to be with us now for those all season long.
Awesome. Is Strick going to join in?
Maybe. Strick's not here today.
Oh, at least Austin will.
I'm filling in for Strick. Whenever he is here, he'll play along.
Okay.
But his record will not be as accurate as all of ours. So
it might be more accurate. It just might not have as many games.
Not as many sample sizes.
So it won't count.
Not as big of a sample.
So you're not going to count it.
No. So even if he wins, it doesn't count.
You're not going to do win percentage.
No.
Yeah, we'll figure out something. I saw the floor for the volleyball court in person today.
Yeah, they're putting it in.
It looks real weird. Memorial Stadium. So from up in the press box, obviously you see the silver seats, silver benches. It all blends in because the floor is silver. And it just all blends in person. It's like, well, where's the turf? You're so used to seeing a green turf. You're like, oh my gosh, they took the turf.
Now, is that being
they stole it?
Is that being televised, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Big Ten Network.
BTN?
Yep.
Okay.
It was interesting because like when I pulled up for the press conference, like Trev Alberts was right out front, just directing everybody, like, all right, this is where we're going. Like they're going at it.
I am excited.
I mean, you even got the athletic director out there, like talking to people and figuring out where things are going, and like just right out front on the sidewalk.
Big day for Nebraska. We can't wait for. Next week, again, I'm proud of the city of Lincoln, and I'm so happy that 93.7 The Ticket is going to be kind of woven a little bit more into the fabric into it once we go downtown. But there's some days that you're just really proud of Lincoln, and Wednesday is going to be one of those. And then hopefully Thursday too when Nebraska wins.
Could you imagine if the football game was at home the next day too?
That would be a disaster.
The scramble to get everything off of the field.
Well, and that's, I mean, obviously a big reason why they chose to do that when they did.
What's the weather supposed to be like, by the way? It's not 104, is it?
Let me check. No, it was like 90 something. Let me see the forecast for.
Hey, at least you're not on the turf.
Yeah, that's true.
Normal floor.
Help a little bit.
The real field temperature won't be as bad as
All
it
right,
would be if
so
there's a football
Wednesday. Oh, that looks beautiful. Wednesday.
field. I thought it was like 84.
88.
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
A low of 59.
5 to 10 mile an hour wind still.
Hold on, let me see. What time are we looking at? So later, like 6:30, I think is when they're going to play somewhere around there.
Yeah.
About 85. It's not giving me any wind or anything, but big fan. Oh, here we go. Wind 3 to 11 miles per hour. Gusts up to 23. But here we go. At like 6:30, it'll be about 10 from the southeast. But at 4, when the first game starts between Wayne and UNK, it's about 9.
And
it's going to be a nice day. It's going to be a really nice day.
All of this can change. It's Nebraska.
No, it won't. Don't be like that.
Yeah,
don't do that.
It can.
What do you guys?
It says, and this is. Let me knock on a lot of wood.
That looks weird when you do it that way.
Zero precipitation.
Zero.
That's true. It's going to be packed. I mean, I was just imagining today when I was up there an hour ago or so, like, dang, there's going to be entire place is going to be filled in less than a week.
Are you going to try to go?
I am.
Yeah.
I will be there.
I want to try to
Same.
go, but I'd have to get you guys got media passes. I was going to just like get a ticket, but that might be difficult.
I think I'm not 100%. I could be very wrong that there's still some standing room only.
Are there really?
But it's like down on the floor within all the students. It's one of those things where if I didn't have a if I didn't have a media pass, like it would suck. Because I'd be standing there and there's going to be tall people in front of me. I'm just going to be like,
suck if I didn't have a pass.
But no, I'm saying,
okay, Rico, we get it.
No, but I'm saying because I'm short.
Rico's a big deal.
No, because I'm short. So if I'm in the standing room only, I wouldn't be able to see the court.
Check this moonwalk. No.
We never put you on camera.
No, we didn't.
No.
Yeah.
All right, it's a quick segment. We won't even look at the next depth chart because we got to get out of the way for the happy hour. You guys will look a little bit more into the depth chart. And like you said, a lot more coming up there.
You want to stick around? You can look at the depth chart with us.
I can, yeah, sure. I'll stick around.
Have you not talked about depth chart?
Oh, we have talked about the depth chart.
Okay, I was just saying. Yeah, feel free to stick around.
Yeah.
We got nothing better to do.
Was there more yelling about the depth chart than usual?
Are you mad?
No, I was surprised because
not from him.
Oh,
Terrell was not happy with the depth chart, which I just didn't think you could be that upset about a depth chart. It's just kind of how things have played out in practice. I
got some thoughts on it.
Yeah. All right, we'll get more of those thoughts and plenty more Husker coverage coming up next, and high school football, as you mentioned earlier, coming up next on Happy Hour. We'll do that next on 93.7 The Ticket.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
H&H Roofing, established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and